Hi Jess,
Hi Priti,
how are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay.
So introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Yash Kumar, and I am DevOps and Cloud Engineer. I have around 6 years of experience. Okay, in each tool, like in different tools, I have different year of experience. Like I was working with a team who developed the CI/CD pipeline from scratch, and then I take care of CI/CD pipeline also. Like in our pipeline, we have different stages like build, test, and then deploy stages there. Okay, like as soon as development team pushes the code to GitHub, like the first stage in our Jenkins pipeline gets triggered. Like we use Jenkins as a CI/CD tool. As soon as developer team pushes the code, like first stage gets triggered, and after that, like build and then test and then deploy, and finally we get like it get deployed in the Kubernetes environment, and that we can use as a software. Like uh, uh, like for daily and repetitive tasks, I use Shell script, uh, and I also take care of a cloud infrastructure. And AWS is our cloud provider, and I take care of services like EC2 cloud, like EC2 service in that load balancer, auto scaling, IAM service, CloudWatch service, and like CloudFront, Route 53, and like VPC and its components like endpoint, transit gateway, uh, and many other services which I take care in AWS. And I have also worked on Terraform and Ansible. So Terraform I used to create infrastructure on AWS. I use it as a infrastructure as code tool, and I use Ansible to manage the configuration on AWS cloud. Okay, and like for Git is our version control system tool. So we are using it to for a version controlling for version controlling, and yeah, like these are all the overall tool which I know. And like I have also worked on Docker and Kubernetes. Like in Docker, we are using Docker to create images, and then we are using Kubernetes to deploy that images in that environment. So in Kubernetes environment, so I'm also involved in the operations of Docker and Kubernetes. So and my daily work is like on daily basis I get tickets like this, which are based on the build issues, deployment issues, different issues comes in our pipeline. So those things we resolve on the priority basis. So these are all the overall tools which I know, and these are all my daily tasks. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So shall we start?
Yes.
So Kubernetes, how do you handle?
In Kubernetes, hello.
So in Kubernetes, how
Yeah.
do you handle high traffic?
Okay, so normally in Kubernetes, if it is a pod level, we use HPA, and if it is a node level, like worker node level, instance server level, then we use auto scaling. So if it is a pod level, like if more traffic comes, then pod gets scaled to like from, let's say we have, if we have set 5, then when if more traffic comes, and if it is not able to handle it, then it will get scaled to 10 replicas of the pod that we specify with the help of HPA. So basically in HPA, like we write a YAML file. So in that we specify the deployment which is targeted, which one we want to do auto scale, and like we give the matrices like that is based on the CPU or like memory usage. So for that, one more requirement is like a matrix server. So we also install matrix server. So based on that, it calculates like how much memory is getting used or CPU utilization is happening. So based on that, it like uh, it kills the replica based on the traffic, and when traffic goes down, it comes down. Okay. So this is how like we use HPA to handle the high traffic in Kubernetes.
Okay. So how do fix worker node without downtime?
Like you mean to say, how do I fix worker node without downtime, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that, what we do is like normally when pod is running, so if we are doing anything or if we are rebooting or if we are shutting down the nodes, then downtime will happen. So for that, what we do is like first we remove the uh, like I can tell we evacuate the pods from the worker node. So for that, some a few commands are there. With the help of that, which we will like, or we will fix like 10 tolerant issue based on eviction. No execute. We will use it based on that. It will evict the pod which is running on the node, and after that we can fix it, and then after fixing it we can remove the temps and tolerance. So again after the next step, apply and all, the pod will start getting settled on it. So basically, like first we need to evacuate the pod which is running on the node to another worker node, and we will fix this node, and then we'll again we will start applying or updating the pod so that it will get created on this node also.
Okay. Okay. And how do you deploy application in Kubernetes?
Okay, so like we use deployment controller to deploy application in Kubernetes. So basically, first we write deployment. Let's say if it is I will take one scenario and I will try to explain this. So let's say if it is a MongoDB and MongoDB database is there, and one UI for Mongo Express is there that will work as a UI where we will create table, and that table will get created in MongoDB database. So for that, what we do is like first we write one YAML file, deployment YAML file, where we will define like uh, we will write two deployment file here. One will be for database, and one will be for Mongo Express, that will be for UI, and we will connect these both by using services. What happens is like when traffic will come to Mongo Express, it will take data from the database and it will give it back. So for that, we need two deployments and two services, and we will based on the label we will specify like. In deployment file, that container port we will map to services of uh, that database, and from and yeah, and Mongo Express label will be specified in the service of this Mongo Express service. So this is how we will map this all together and we can use it.
Okay. Can you say how will you connect to VPC when they are two different accounts?
Okay, so connecting VPCs when they are in two different accounts, then for that we can use VPC peering. So if only two VPCs are there, then we can use VPC peering. If more VPCs are there, then we can use like transit gateway. So what happens is like with transit gateway, we need to first create transit gateway attachment, and that will be attached with transit gateway. Uh, so for each VPC, we need to create one transit gateway attachment, and that will map to transit gateway with the help of with the same transit gateway, and we will edit the route table also on the subnet level, so that transit traffic will flow. It will go and it will come. So this is like in one account, and if we want to connect the another VPC with this these VPCs, then in that case, first we need to like go to resource access manager, and there we need to put account number of another account, and we need to select this transit gateway. So one request will go in that account. Over there we need to go and we need to accept that that request, and then there we need to create attachment, and we need to tag that transit gateway ID with that attachment, and then we need to edit the route table at subnet level. So this is how we will connect using transit gateway. And if we are using peering, means over there only we need to select like different account, or and then even if different region is there, that region option is also there to select. So once you will select and create it, one request will go to the that VPC in the that account. Over there you need to go to you need to go and accept that request, and we need to you need to configure the route table also at subnet level to make the traffic to flow.
Okay. Okay, what do you think about this? Let's say we have two account A and B, and A wants to access bucket of account and B, how we can achieve it?
Okay, like cross account, that both buckets are in different account.
Yeah, A and B.
Okay, so here what we can do is like we can create one bucket policy, and we will attach to the bucket in B. And in account A we will create one IAM user, and we will create policy. So in while creating that policy, bucket policy, we will specify account number and username and that bucket name. And in account A we will create uh, a policy where it will be like that bucket name will be there, along with that what like bucket name plus uh, what it can do, like get object or put object, whatever actions we want to give, we can specify in that policy, and we can attach it with the user. So after this we can use it. Other ways are also there, like we can create a role, and we can assume that, and we can also edit access control list. Over there also you need to provide the account numbers, but at access control list level, it is not specified to one user. It is like whatever user is there in account table, or like everyone can access that one. So like this is how we can do it.
Okay. Okay. Can you say how can we check a CPU memory and disk size of server?
Okay, so for CPU we can use top command, and even we can use free hyphen m also. That will also provide a CPU utilization. And for memory we can use free hyphen h, so that will give memory. And for disk usage, du hyphen sh, uh, or df hyphen h also we can use. And du hyphen sh if we are using, then it will give the file size, so how much memory disk size it is, disk memory it is taking. And for like for shell script, if I will tell, then we can uh, map these commands with like awk command and set command and grep command. By using these three commands we can write shell script that will be like automated. So once we'll run it, we can provide, if more servers are there, then we can provide like host list. We can create one file and we can put all the host like IP addresses, and we can create passwordless connection with all those servers. So and we can provide it by using for loop. So once we will run the script, then it will give the CPU memory and like disk usage of all the servers.
Okay. So how to check length of a string?
Length of a string. Okay,
Yeah.
so for checking length of the string we can use like uh, like a string, we can use like l equal to a string, and then curly braces, and then hash, and then string name. So that will also give the string length. Also we can use awk command with length function, that will also give the length. Yeah, these both we can use to get length. Also we can use w hyphen c command, like cut command. So what will, how we can do is like uh, by using cut command, cut hyphen c, and then um, um, yeah, by using this hash and then string name, and then we can provide like variables like at the rate or star. This both will give the length, and by using awk command or length command we can identify.
Okay. What is AWK command?
AWK command. Okay, so basically awk command is used to file the columns. We can also use it to do arithmetic operations also, and like we use it in different ways. Like we can map it, we can pipe it with other commands to get the required detail. Like let's say if we are debugging like logs of any service, so we can cat that file and then we can pipe it to awk command to get IP address only. If it is in like the second column, then we can use awk hyphen f, and then we can give limiter like space or anything dot or colon or whatever is given in that file, and we can put in inverted comma we can put flower bracket, and then print $2. So this will print the second column, and we can like that we can get the details, or if based on the errors and all we can like file the columns and all.
Okay. Can you explain your pipeline script?
Yeah, so in my pipeline, like I use descriptive way to write my pipeline script. So for that, like first line in my pipeline script is pipeline only, and for generating like let's say for fetching code from Git, I use declarative pipeline where all the hierarchies are already given. With the help of that, I generate the snippet of that. So first stage in my pipeline is like checking out the code from the Git. So first I check out the Git. So that is like and also we can provide like a label, uh, yeah, agent first. Yeah, first is pipeline and then agent. We can provide agent, and with agent we can provide none if you want to use, like if you want to do actions on the slave machine, then we can put agent equal to none, or we can just put agent master, so that it will all do all the work on master only. We can also use environment like block environment, where we can provide our passwords and all, which will be frequently used on in our pipeline script. Also we can provide like uh, parameterized parameters, and like first is fetching code from the Git, and the second one is like build stage, where code is getting built. So in that stage we are running npm clean install sh npm clean install, and then after that we are pushing it to remote repository. So first before that we build that image, build that like create image with that build artifact. So for that we have installed docker plugin, and then we are running like docker dot build command, and we are building image. After that we are, with the help of credential, we are pushing it to docker hub. So that is like third stage. So with the help of like with credential, and then that credential we have already saved in Jenkins. So with the help of that we are pushing it to remote repository, and then uh, like we have already integrated Kubernetes uh, with the help of like Kubernetes continuous deploy plugin. So and we, with the help of credentials, again we are deploying by writing the uh, Kubernetes command.
Okay. And can you explain SonarQube integration?
Oh, SonarQube integration. Okay, so like basically SonarQube is a code scanning tool. So to integrate that, like first we need to install plugin on the Jenkins. After that we need to configure global tool configuration, and plus manage Jenkins. So in that we will use like first we need to generate one like code from SonarQube, that we will save in the credentials. With the help of that we will configure manage Jenkins, and in global tool configuration we need to install the latest or required version of scanner, SonarQube scanner, and that we will use in the script. So if we are using quality kits, then we need to install plugin for that also. and we need to provide all the details in the pipeline like project name and key and then URL and then passwords and all. And like we need to with the help of like with Sonar QENV we can scan the code and we can check like whether it is having vulnerability or not based on the set parameter in quality gate.
Okay. And what is command to check dangling image in Docker?
Okay, like dangling image is like is of no use. That is not at all related to main image. So for that we can use dangling images, Docker images, dangling equal to dangling hyphen f, dangling equal to true. So this will give all the dangling images. And if we want to delete that one, then for that we can use like Docker pull images.
Okay. And what you think about what does MB and clean install does?
Ambient clean install means like it is like a command to build the Java based project. So in clean will like let's say if we have built prior builds, so it will clean that the prior builds and it will remove all unwanted files and all. And install will like it will build and it will install in the local repository. So that is M2, which will be specified in pom.xml also. So there only it will install that build and also that it can be used.
Okay. Can you say difference between git pull and fetch?
Git pull is like let's say if any changes are made on the repository and if the first time we will do Git clone. So whatever there things which are there on the remote repository of Git, it will get cloned and it will be like we can work on that. But difference between Git pull and clone is like whatever changes are there on the remote repository, it will directly come and it will make the changes. Whereas in Git fetch, it will not merge the changes. It will store in separate branch that is Git fetch branch. So that based on the if required we can merge it or else we can leave it.
Okay. And lastly, let's say we have instant which is not getting provinced by Terraform. If I want it to get provinced by Terraform, how can I got it?
Okay,
Sorry.
so for like we can use Terraform import command. So where we can do one thing like specify we can create one file any file name with any file name .tf extension should be tf and there we can in that file we can provide